So in my previous video, I let you guys know that there's been a lot going on in the last few years. We have moved country, so we're no longer living in Sweden. We are now living in the UK, in England. I mean, that was a journey and a half, and I'm going to tell you guys more about that in a different video because it was such an amazing trip over here, as well as process of deciding to move and starting our business and everything over here. So it's been crazy. It's been a crazy journey, and I wish that I had documented the whole entire thing because it would have been awesome. So like I said, because we have moved country, there's been a few hiccups along the road because of that. One of which is that, as you all know, I have multiple sclerosis, and in transferring over my driver's license from a Swedish license to the UK license, I missed the date, I guess, by about 2 weeks, something like that, where I lost my license because I hadn't been to Sweden for my health check. So when you have multiple sclerosis, it's one of those things that the doctors usually want you to come in every few years to have everything checked out, that, you know, your nerves are working the way they're supposed to, your eyes, all of that. So even though I'm fine, I had not been there to let the doctors know that I was fine, and I obviously hadn't been for any recent MRIs or neurological tests. So in February of 2019, I got a letter from Sweden saying, you don't have a license. Yeah, it's like one of the worst things that you can hear, basically. So I had to go through the whole process of getting my provisional license, which that in itself is a faff, like trying to get sending in all your medical papers and things to the .gov, whatever, and then getting a letter back saying, we need obviously a doctor's letter, which I get, that's fine, I get that. So I needed to make an appointment with the doctor. So I went up to go and make an appointment with the doctor, and the doctor said, no, we'll contact you. We're not gonna book an appointment now. We'll call you to make an appointment. I'm like, okay, but that can take up to 6 weeks. I'm like, 6 weeks? That's like another 6 weeks. Anyway, so after about like 4 weeks, I still hadn't gotten anything from them. So I went back in and I was like, right, look, I get you guys have your process and everything, even though it's annoying. What's going on? When will I get this time booked? They were like, oh, okay, well, we can make an appointment for you now because you needed to come to us. I'm like, but that's what I did. We live like right next door to the doctor's office. I went there the day that I got the letter from, no, a couple days later, because it told me to wait a couple days after I got the letter from the government. So I went there. I made the appointment, but the appointment wasn't for another 3 weeks. Then they said, oh, you need to go and get your eyes checked. I'm like, go get my eyes checked. It's just like so many people, and I get it, because obviously there's so many people that perhaps don't tell the truth and blah, 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 blah. I get it, but it was just a lot of things to do. Anyway, so got that sent off, got my provisional license, I think 3 weeks later. It took a long time just to get your provisional license. I immediately booked my theory test. And I think I did that like within a week. So I did my theory test within a week, and I hadn't studied or anything. So I cracked down to study. Now you can't book your driving test until you've passed your theory test in the UK. So I studied, went there and passed. Like I said, like a week. I had a week. And I studied like crazy. I went through all 700 and something questions. I booked my test, and my test wasn't for another 7 weeks. my practical test was not for another 7 weeks. When you've had a license and then you don't have it, you feel like you've lost your freedom in a way that I can't describe. If you haven't had that freedom, you don't know what it is. Does that make sense? I hope you get what I mean. So I felt like I'd lost my freedom, and I was like quickly just feeling like really bogged down about it, because I created a life that was created around having a car, and then not having it. It was awful. I booked the test for the 14th of August, and guess what? Today is the 14th of August. And I passed. I passed it. Now, to most of you that you think like, right, well, she's been driving for years, so what's the big deal? All the bad habits, all of the bad habits that you built up through the years, all of a sudden you have to wipe all of those away and start from scratch. I was so sure I wouldn't pass, but guess what? I passed. So I now have my license, and life is going to be so different. My instructor, when she came and picked me up, she's like, right, should we go and change your life? I'm like, yes, let's go change my life, because that is exactly what it feels like. The first thing that I said when I passed was, I'm gonna go and do a food shop on my own. So here I am. I am actually at Aldi about to do a food shop on my own. And it feels amazing. I have nothing to complain about. We all have things to complain about, but even with the small things that I have to complain about, I have nothing to complain about. Not having a license has been frustrating for sure for everyone involved, including people that had to chauffeur me around whenever I needed it. Yeah, it's been frustrating, but I'm also kind of grateful for little hiccups in the road like this, because it actually means that you realize what you have, and the gratitude that I feel to even be able to get my license again. Life is awesome. I'm gonna go in now. I'm gonna go into the shop and get myself some frozen blueberries. Yeah, like goals, frozen blueberries. On that note, have a wonderful day, all you awesome warriors out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.